You guys, this story just will not stop. David, the same kid who gave us Romantic Homicide and Here With Me, has just dropped what fans are calling his final message before everything comes crashing down. And listen, I know we've been following this since the Tesla story broke, but what's happening right now feels different. He's gone completely silent. His team's disappeared, and he's moving like someone who knows the clock's running out. We're talking cryptic posts, property transfers, family involvement, the works. So today we're breaking it all down. What that final message actually said, what he's been doing behind the scenes that's got everyone suspicious, and why some fans think this is the last time we'll hear from him for a long, long time. Grab a snack, because this one's heavy. Let's get into it. So late last night, out of nowhere, David allegedly posts this short, almost poetic message to his private story. It said, and I quote, "There's peace in knowing the truth, even if the world never hears it from me." That's it. No caption, no song, no context. And then poof, it vanished. Within minutes, screenshots flooded Reddit and X. The hashtags David Final Message and Justice for Celeste started trending again. And the reactions? All over the place. Half the internet's like, he's admitting guilt. The other half saying he's signing off because he's done explaining himself. Either way, the timing's crazy, because just days before that post, people noticed he'd been quietly making moves in the background that looked strategic. All right, let's talk about those moves. Fans discovered that the Hollywood Hills home David was living in, the same one that police searched last month, is now officially listed under his mom's name. That's not rumor, that's public record. Now, people transfer houses to family all the time for tax reasons or privacy, but doing it right in the middle of an investigation tied to your car? Yeah, that's gonna raise eyebrows. Some fans are convinced this is about protecting assets, like if anything legal or financial comes down the line, the house is safe. Others think it's just optics, trying to keep the address off public records while the media circus continues. Either way, it doesn't feel random. It feels like chess. And every move he's made since the Tesla discovery looks like another piece sliding into place. Let's rewind for anyone who somehow missed how this started. Back in early September, a Tesla registered to David was found abandoned near an Airbnb he'd rented in Los Angeles. It got towed and sat in a Hollywood impound lot for weeks, until staff noticed a strong odor coming from the trunk. When police opened it, they found the decomposed remains of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who'd been missing for over a year. That alone turned the internet upside down. People thought it had to be fake, a hoax. But then the registration confirmed the car really did belong to him. From that moment on, every corner of social media went detective mode. Screenshots, Discord chats, lyrics, live streams. Fans were digging through everything he's ever said, trying to connect dots. Now, police haven't released any official suspects, and nobody's been charged. But the optics? Horrible, especially when you combine it with what we've learned about his silence. Since that Tesla story broke, David hasn't said a single word publicly. No interview, no live stream, no statement through his label, nothing. For a guy who built a career online, that's weird. Even his management hasn't issued a generic, "we're cooperating with authorities" line. Just total radio silence. And here's the thing, when you don't speak up, people fill in the blanks for you. Every little thing, a deleted story, a missing comment, a property transfer, suddenly becomes proof of something bigger. It's almost like he's letting the internet write the ending for him. And now with that final message dropping, it feels like he's accepted that narrative. Around the same time that message appeared, fans noticed his social media was getting scrubbed. Old likes, reposts, even comments under his TikToks were gone. Whole playlists disappeared on Spotify. And then there's the burner account, the one people think he's been using to watch everything unfold. That account suddenly went private and wiped too. To a casual fan, maybe that's just cleaning up. But to people following this case closely, it looks like digital damage control, like he's trying to erase breadcrumbs before something official drops. Let's talk public opinion, because it's wild right now. On one side, you've got diehard fans saying this is all coincidence. They think he's overwhelmed, that the internet's painting him guilty without evidence, and that he's retreating to protect his mental health. Then you've got the other camp, people who are convinced this is the calm before the storm. They're pointing to the house transfer, the deleted posts, and that final message as signs that he's bracing for legal fallout. And then there's the middle group, people who just feel betrayed. They loved his music. They saw him as this shy, introspective artist, and now they don't know what to believe. Every time they hear Romantic Homicide, it hits completely different. Let's not forget how the music industry reacted. Right after the story went viral, his tour was canceled. His label paused all releases, and brands like Crocs and Hollister quietly pulled campaign content. Even artists who used to collab with him started removing his features. Like overnight, his name went from next big thing to we don't know him. Now, if you're innocent, that's a brutal position to be in. But if you're guilty, it's exactly the kind of corporate distancing you'd expect before charges hit. No one knows which side this really is yet, but either way, his career's frozen. The move that's getting the most attention right now is the property transfer to his mom's name. Because here's the twist, she's reportedly living in a completely different state. So fans are asking, why would he sign the house over to her if she's not even there? Some speculate it's to get the house off his record so media can't track him. Others think it's about asset protection. Either way, it feels like part of a bigger plan, like he's tying up loose ends. And people have noticed that his mom has gone completely offline too. No posts, no statements, nothing. It's like the whole family's gone dark. Now, about that message again. The reason people are calling it his final message isn't just because it sounds dramatic. It's because of the timing. We're talking about a guy who's been silent for months, suddenly posting something poetic about truth and peace, right after moving assets and erasing his online presence. If that's not calculated, I don't know what is. People are reading it as a soft goodbye, like he's saying, I can't speak now, but one day you'll understand. And honestly, if you were about to disappear for a while, that's exactly how you'd do it. You already know the Reddit detectives are eating this up. There are threads with hundreds of pages breaking down his every move, people cross-referencing flight logs, property filings, Discord messages, all trying to figure out what's next. They even found that one of his unreleased songs references blood in the trunk, and now that line's being passed around like it's a confession. Could be coincidence, could be eerie foreshadowing, but once the internet decides there's a pattern, that's it, game over. Then there's the so-called insiders. Over the last week, multiple anonymous accounts claiming to know his team have popped up. They're saying his lawyers have been working overtime, that he's cutting off old collaborators, even that he's preparing to step away indefinitely. Now, none of that's been verified, but in the court of public opinion, that's all people need. Because when the silence drags on this long, every rumor sounds plausible. Here's why fans think this really might be the endgame for David. First, timing. That message drops right after reports that investigators are finalizing the toxicology and cause of death reports for Celeste, meaning we're about to enter a new phase of the case. Second, pattern. Every major scandal like this hits the same way. Silence, asset movement, cryptic post, then announcement. We've seen it with other artists before. And third, tone. That message didn't sound like, see you soon. It sounded like, this is goodbye. So whether he's preparing for legal trouble or just disappearing from the spotlight, everyone agrees. Something's coming. Honestly, man, I don't even know how to feel about this anymore. When this first broke, I thought it was wild internet rumors. But the more you look at it, the harder it is to ignore how weird his behavior's been. You don't move a house into your mom's name, wipe your socials, and drop cryptic quotes about truth unless something's going down. And if this really is his final message, it's chilling. It's like watching someone hit the eject button on their own career in real time. News outlets are cautious, but fans, not so much. TikTok is flooded with theories, some showing screenshots of his last live streams, others analyzing lyrics, and a few just straight up crying on camera. One creator said, he wrote our heartbreak anthems while living a double life. That clip's got over 2 million views. And honestly, that's the sad part. No matter what the truth ends up being, the damage is already done. His name's now attached to tragedy, and there's no clean way to come back from that. Right now, we're in the quietest part of this whole story. Police aren't saying anything new. His team's Mia, and David himself just left that alleged cryptic message and vanished again. Everyone's waiting for the next headline, whether that's an arrest, a statement, or a total disappearance. It's eerie because it feels like we're right at the edge of something big, and we don't know what it is yet. So here's where we're at. A rising star who went from SoundCloud to Coachella is now surrounded by one of the most bizarre stories in music right now. He's made some strange, strategic moves, posted one haunting final message, and then disappeared into silence. And maybe it's just damage control. Maybe he's innocent and just hiding from the noise. Or maybe the internet's right, and we're watching the final chapter unfold in real time. Either way, it's a crazy moment in pop culture history. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think this final message was him saying goodbye, or just trying to calm the chaos before something else drops? And if new info breaks, you already know I'll be here covering it. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.